Let's just take a look at the market. It's a strong activity yesterday, a strong turnaround. What's driving demand on that side?
Well, I think we are now in our first quarter announcement period, so investors are now looking for stock picks, especially in the financial sector. As we saw, Equity Bank did quite some robust activity yesterday, and I think we're going to see quite a lot of activity centered on the financial sector for the moment. I think the banking sector and in general the financial sector has shown the highest levels of growth over the last year and also in the first quarter, and I think a lot of interest is going to remain there, but we should see going forward a bit of a shift onto other sectors as we expect that especially the industrial sector to start seeing levels of growth accelerating. Of course, the fact that we have very high inflation levels, we're expecting costs to escalate, especially because of the fuel price cost escalation in the recent past. That would probably dampen what we would have expected to be robust growth towards Q2 of the year.
Now, Uchumi Supermarkets is set to start trading again on the stock exchange after a 5-year absence. Now, it was suspended back in 2006 due to debt levels. You've just been to a management conference. What transpired out of that, and are they confident that now is the right time to start trading again?
Well, they expected to be back on the market in 2008, but they were given some conditions by the Capital Markets Authority regarding their main debtors, who are PTA and the Kenya Commercial Bank and the government as well. And I think they have fulfilled those conditions. The conditions were to do with the levels of debt, and they did manage to get very good terms. I think they also managed to get for investors to put in more money in form of debentures, convertible debentures, and I think that they have done a very good job. I think this is the first company to ever go into receivership in the Kenyan market and actually come back this strong. So I believe, being a first, it is a case study. If I'm going back to school probably to do my PhD, I'll probably do a case study on Uchumi.
So you'll be buying into that stock when it's listed?
Well, I think they have a very strong client base. Having made a comeback after 5 years, I believe that investors won't be looking to dump the share. I think Mr. Shiano, who is the CEO, did allude to the fact that he does not expect investors to be, itching to sell the share. He felt, according to their valuations, they valued the share at around 17 shillings plus, and the valuation at the time of going into receivership was about 14 shillings, which shows that they see growth, and they feel that with the type of restructuring and reorganization that they have done, he did show us some of their numbers. And for example, they're looking at OPEX, operating expenditure, to revenues, looking very good, going from 43% to something like 17% right now, means that they have done a very good job in making sure that they control their costs. They are looking at the business more in terms of each branch as an entity and not looking at the whole, and they have actually shown that they have what it takes to keep the company afloat and to keep it strong.
Samuel, let's just move on. Eveready East Africa announced yesterday that it plans to close its Kenyan plant. Now, the market didn't take well to this news. That stock fell 6.5% to 2.15 shillings. Could we see more downside on this, or was this a slight overreaction?
Well, I don't think that was a surprise for me. I haven't been very keen on Eveready's ability to maintain their manufacturing plant in Kenya, especially with the much cheaper imports coming in from China and India. I think that when we started seeing the company begin to do massive layoffs, we recently saw their CEO exit. I think those were signs that the company was in trouble, and I think that you know, for them, it hasn't been a very good thing. I do pity or feel quite bad for those people who may lose their jobs at the plant, but I hadn't seen it coming. I hadn't seen them actually being able to survive in the sort of prevailing circumstances. So with that in mind, I do expect that investors will be a bit worried about holding on to that stock.
Samuel.
And personally...
Sorry, I just wanted to ask you one last question. We are running out of time. CFC Stanbic's results are out tomorrow. Now the bank's slashing its fees to help it gain market share. What type of results are you looking for from that bank?
They have been reorganizing. I think we do expect a good picture to come from that, and I believe that most CFC is just looking to expand in line with what the financial sector is doing, and I think going forward we should expect to see their banking section becoming stronger, you know, by leaps and bounds.